Hello YouTube, my name is Plazukas. Today's video is going to be on Tectone. We're going to kind of talk about all the things that we've discussed over the past 2 weeks. Hopefully put them together. If you're asking, do you have an obsession over Tectone? I do not. Actually, Tectone reacted to my video chronologically first. And then it was been a back and forth, up until the point where I banned him from Discord. He banned me from Twitch. And now these videos that are going to come out after that are after all of that transpired. So now we're on an even kill. So anything I do after this, that'll be me starting something. Okay? Let's be very clear. So this is technically my first video where I am starting something with Tectone in mind. Let's begin. I want to first focus our attention on things have to change. This was 3 weeks ago, which was before Withering Waves launched. Tectone in this video basically stated that he wanted to change and that he said basically, the more I let go, the more free I get, the more successful I am. And to be honest, I think I've seen that Tectone. I think I've seen a very free, a very willing to say pretty much anything, so much so that I made the mind manipulation video, which I find very startling and concerning. But in this video, he basically says that
I'm really tired of letting people get away with fucked up shit. The less I filter myself, the more I relate to people, and the more others kind of believe in me, which is nice.
Right. And Asmongold has been not guilty of it, but has definitely used this in his persona for the past few years as a variety streamer and somebody that reacts. And I think most Twitch streamers who do reactions are a little bit more free-spoken, and they kind of just let it all go. They embrace the First Amendment, the constitutional amendment, at least in the United States, to not the max, but pretty darn close. And so that's what I've experienced. And I didn't know what Tectone was before, this change, this apparent epiphany. So, and I can't speak to that. And I'm not going to go all the way back into the history to see what Tectone used to be like, other than to say, when I had mentioned that I believed that Tectone's user base was a bit younger. And I don't want to be the person that's, continually trying to derail somebody's career by going back in videos and looking, and I won't too often, but I thought this video was a very good place to at least start a foundation as to where we're at with this this topic. So if we go here and we look at, this one is posted 1 year ago. It's my viewers found me in real life. Now, clearly this was before potentially he changed, or the transition between potentially Honkai, Genshin. I know that happened a couple years ago, but I know he went back and forth to both games. So I'm not sure where the fallout of Genshin actually happened, or if it actually is happening, if it's just like a ploy at this point. But this is one of his videos that he basically meets up with real people, which I've always found to be very weird, but that's just me.
Yo, dude, you got here right when we asked. Yeah.
You got here right when we asked, right? So there's some kind of maybe strategic planning in the chat. So this is some of his viewers. I'm not going to focus too much on them, their faces, or anything like that. So we can close this video out. And then we have this one where he took a picture with some of his other viewers. All I'm using those for is to basically say that his user base is relatively young. And I would even go as far as to say, 16 to 24 is his primary demographic. And that is indicated by how his streams are, and more importantly, and why this video even exists, is how he treats new people on the actual platform. And I'm talking about, obviously, me. In these 2 videos that he's posted about me, and then obviously the first one, I talked to the most delusional man on YouTube. The most delusional man on YouTube. 2 videos within the same day, using basically the same title, because leaning into the delusion, the mental, all these things that were already referenced. And I've already made a video on my mental health. I've already done all that. And this was predated that. So, and to be honest, it was all fair game at that point. Okay. I'm not here trying to cancel anybody or to say anything. I've already gone on and said that I was fine with him saying the R word and all this stuff. Like, all this stuff was fine until it actually started to minimize my message. And I felt like its tactics were very callous. And that's when I said, okay, enough is enough. And then going forward, I'll make a point to correct this. The good news is Tectone, I don't believe is going to react to any of my videos. I don't believe Tectone is going to acknowledge me based on what he said. He said I'm a mental health risk, which is all he's been saying essentially since day one. He's like, I have a mental illness, blah, 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 blah. Most delusional man. So it's fit in the narrative. And he basically inferred a lot of things that most successful people will. And to be honest, I don't blame Tectone for doing that, okay? Ultimately, I think Tectone has put his hand into the cookie jar too many times and has not been slapped enough times to know you shouldn't mess with just random people online to get viewers. But that's what I want to speak to. His younger audience loves it, loves the persona that he has. Because I don't believe a demographic that's older is going to enjoy this kind of content. How much of his audience is bled over from Genshin? Well, we could talk about this too. In this video posted 2 weeks ago, which is fairly relevant, okay? This was at the release of Withering Waves. He goes on and say, he's got this post on X, Twitter, okay? And he was talking about, you're wrong about Genshin Impact, okay? And he said, Genshin Impact is a children's game and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? He's gone on and said that unequivocally for the past 2 weeks. He continuously reiterates that Genshin Impact is a children's game. Just like Minecraft, just like Fortnite. I get it. Fortnite is changing their demographic a little bit, but it's predominantly still kids. All I'm saying is that now he's making this change in this video about how free he can be, talking to a very young demographic. Then if we go to my video, specifically, we go to my video and we talk about YouTube, my name is Plazookas, and I didn't know about this until, and we go to the mind manipulation video. YouTube, my name is Plazookas. I have to make this a that's serious.
Or danger. You build an army of weak men. They will turn against you the first moment there is any type of controversy or danger. You never pander to the weak.
Right. And this keeps on going on. And is it out of context? Absolutely. It's out of context. But it doesn't matter. Because in that moment, with such a young audience, it's very impressionable. Tectone is one of the most successful streamers in the entire platform, regardless of Gacha. His words matter. And I've just shown you a part of what his viewership looks like. And I can assure you that is predominantly the age group. Very impressionable young people that latch on to very successful, very popular people. I know this because when I was a kid, I looked up to people too. And the more successful you were, the more impressionable you were. That's not necessarily exclusive. Obviously, there are plenty of people in your life that you can look up to that don't have to be successful or popular. But I've seen the audience. I know how much they leave his channel to go to my channel and basically reiterate everything they say. Everything that Tectone says, everything that Hexjuice says. And I do think Hexjuice is basically the parrot to Tectone. I can't confirm that. I don't know that. That is the rumor. And I have not seen anything that makes me believe otherwise. So, what does this mean? I don't know. The information is out there. I also want to make a very clear statement. I don't know if this is the case. It does not look like Tectone's stream is 18 plus, which I find to be very, very troubling. The conversations that are happening in Tectone's videos, all the, I wouldn't say vulgarity, but the borderline pervertedness of some of the content, I believe should have an 18 plus designation. Now that's just me. Obviously, if you're a parent of someone that's under the age of 18, you need to make that choice for your child as to what they can view and what they cannot view. I'm not here going to make that choice for you, other than to say that, you know, if you know your demographic's younger, if you know your demographic even leans towards 16 to 18, shouldn't you be a little bit more careful? And I just find it interesting. I don't have that video up right now, where he mentioned 3 weeks ago that he was going to change and be more off the cuff and speak his mind. Whatever's in his mind, he's going to come out. And so when you have, you know, things like I've just mentioned with this one,
And I'm going to
I think
call
this
out
is
the
a
whole community.
I think this is a start of that. I think this is part of that. And it's still Andrew Tate-ish to me. And that's troubling. So I just wanted to make this video to make it very apparent for whoever's watching this, whether you be Tectone supporters or you're someone that comes into the channel randomly, that, you know, there are places online, okay, that can be toxic, that can be not exactly intended for children. And when you have an audience of children, you should take more responsibility in ensuring that your content isn't going to offend not only their senses but their parents' senses. And it doesn't matter. Like, it's online. There's so many things online in Twitch and Twitter and Instagram that are so, you know, so many miles away from what Tectone has ever done. That is worse. I get that, but at the same time, we're all human. We are not we're not an algorithm. We have a consciousness. We have the ability to discern what we should and should not do. And in the case of Tectone, he knows his audience is younger, and he should be more responsible, in my opinion, both in free-to-play Gacha and in how he phrases things that elicit Andrew Tate-ish philosophies, which could then create this alpha male complex. And I don't need to go into that because I'm not a psychologist. That's my ramble. My name is Plazookas. As always, if you like this video, you don't have to like and subscribe. Clearly you don't. I'm not a content creator. I don't care if you do. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.